This letter is more of a journal entry than a field report. I have started to wonder if I would ever see another messenger from you. I know that travel across the Cosmere is difficult and dangerous, but it's been years. Your callback is troubling at best. However, I would not disguise the fact that your abrupt silence was causing me to consider returning anyways. Needless to say, the cognitive realm may be the home to dreams and the ideas of men, but some of those dreams are nightmares, and they come with some pretty serious teeth. Philosophers of the various worlds often discuss the dangers and natures of the ideas among a population. Naturally, they were making references to the fickle hearts of men in times of transition and stress. Individuals such as you and me know the dangers of the ideas are real in the cognitive realm. There is nothing more terrifying than the realization that one slip, one misstep or encounter with a powerful cognitive being, and your life can be snuffed out like a candle in the wind. I once practically lived amongst the shadows of the cognitive realm, and now that I have returned once again, I find myself fearing that abyss. As a worldhopper, or one who travels between the worlds of the Cosmere, I can tell you that the dangers are very real, and there's a reason there aren't very many of us. Although you may understand the traversing of the cognitive realm in an academic sense, I doubt you truly understand the strange and fascinating perils that reside here. Roshar is of itself particularly dangerous, for the Spren here are far more powerful than their diminished counterparts in the physical realm. Here they are a horde, more like a force of nature than a being of intellect. They move and act, bound by their nature and intent. I have been warned by the whispers of the cryptics, the dangers that their fellows present. One should not travel the cognitive realm lightly here. On the other hand, the Spren are fascinating to converse with. The cryptics in particular seem to enjoy my company, something about the lies I tell. I found that they themselves were hard to ply for information, but if you listen carefully, you can decipher meaning in their circling words. They remind me of politicians, if I am honest. Perhaps that is why I felt I could follow their logic a little better. It was almost like being with family again. I have seen the powers of investiture here on Roshar that create holes, or perpendicularities, in the cognitive realm. This is most fascinating because until now, I had assumed that the only points where someone could pass from the physical world into the cognitive realm was through a location of condensed investiture. Shard pools, as they are called, are points on the various worlds where the raw power of the shard, their investiture, collects and condenses. So far, I have found such pools in each of the worlds I have visited, for I could not have traversed there without them. Yet there are old stories and new whispers that claim that some of the Knights Radiant can send themselves physically into and out of the cognitive realm without using a shard pool. I also believe that the oath gates that I've used to travel great distances in an instant also operate by traversing the cognitive realm, but how this works is still a mystery to me. It is something I hope to look into in the future. I wonder if someday everyone will have access to the cognitive realm. I have a unique background, and with a concentration, I can pass through the perpendicularity with relative safety. The issue is, I don't know if just anyone can survive this process. I've never tested it, fearing what would happen if the concentrated power would harm or even kill others. The concentration of pure investiture is so great that it effectively dissolves the boundaries between the physical and cognitive realms. Perhaps like so many things in the Cosmere, using the shard pools in this way is more about intent than the physical limitations. Sadly, the ways of these pools are far exceeding my understanding. One of the many reasons why I am hesitant to use them is rooted in the knowledge that I understand almost nothing about the mysteries of these pools, except that they can carry me between realms. Even so, I know there are others who use these pools for the very purpose I do. As I've written to you before, Hoid is a master of traversing these various worlds via shard pools. In fact, I think that the only way he can be reasonably tracked is watching the points where he can travel. However, he is far too crafty to make it easy to catch him. Independent of our little organization, The 17th Shard is the only operating group of Worldhoppers that I know of for sure. They seem to see themselves as a policing force, attempting to keep some of the balance and observing the actions that are happening across the Cosmere. Like I've said before, they are no longer fond of me since I set foot and integrated myself among the peoples of Roshar. They seem to feel that these people are far too easy for an outsider to manipulate. Although they have sought me out, I have hidden myself well, and I make sure not to draw attention or meddle in things other than behind the scenes. Besides, subtlety is often a more powerful tool in making things happen. Let the heroes take the spotlight. Instead, I move people into places they need to be, funds where they are most advantageous, and building structures and wealth where there is chaos. Where some wield knives or armies, I wield politics, information, and influence. I sometimes feel ashamed for the distinct advantages my skills and knowledge allow me, yet to do nothing, as my pursuers would wish of me, would go against all that I've become. Never again will I sit back and watch the world burn beneath me. I've been given too many gifts and understanding just to let myself wander away. I will watch, and I will nudge when I feel it is of the greatest benefit. I am not a man to make history, just a man who wants things to run as smoothly as possible. Regardless, I have kept my eye out for these 17th Shard peacekeepers. They will not get in my way for long. There must be others out there that traverse the worlds beyond their home. The only possible exception would be the travelers from Cell. Cell is nearly impossible to visit, and very dangerous at that. Well, all the cognitive realm is dangerous, for the physical bodies that walk the dark paths, but Cell is far more so, even than Roshar. Yet I have a feeling that if travelers haven't been able to leave as of yet, they someday will find a way. At the moment, only a small number of people know world hopping is even possible, but as the peoples of these worlds grow, it becomes more and more likely that others will eventually learn the secrets of the shard pools. Will we one day see networks of interdimensional highways connecting the peoples of the Cosmere? Will worlds ever push to expand their borders, seeking opportunities in the lands of beyond? Will there ever become a time where I become so well known that I can no longer blend in with alien societies? The future of world hopping is as unpredictable as the people who practice the art. It is amusing how often we cross paths, seeing how large the Cosmere is, but I fear that many of us are drawn to the large pivotal points in the narrative of the Shard worlds. In fact, as I make my way back to my homeland, I wonder if Hoid or the Scholar have already traveled there. I never thought I would return, but what is more surprising is the fact that I think I am ready to return. After failing my family, knowing they died because I was not strong enough to protect them, I thought I could never face the world that let them die. Yet, dare I say, my travels on Roshar have shown me that through despair and failure, we often learn and gain the strength that we lacked when we were young. Your report was cryptic at best. Your long silence had me believing that our communications were being intercepted or lost somehow. Disturbing thoughts that remind me of darker days. In fact, I wonder what forces could be out there, continuing to conspire against us. Perhaps this is why I was called in the first place, to stand and recognize the signs of corruption as they manifest. If the danger you implied is caused by a fallen shard, well, I just hope I am not too late. I look forward to meeting in person once again. If anything, I can't wait to see the look on your face to see the backlog of reports you now need to sift through. You can make a book out of them, I'm sure. I also bring a gift from Roshar, something that might make these reports easier to manage in the coming years, assuming we can keep the gemstones charged. Until we meet again, Elsric.